I lost a business. My gyms, I have two of them. I lost my corporate clients, hundreds of people that I was helping, a team that I built for the last 12 years. And to be honest, losing the business was really not the hardest part of it or the worst part of it. It's just that the mistakes that I made. And those mistakes cost a lot. And nobody ever taught me that, not from school, not from my parents, and not from anybody. What's up? I'm Danny, Genix Rock Comeback. Quick background if you're new. I ran a wellness company for about 12 years. I had two gyms, corporate clients, hundreds of people. Then 2020 hit. I ended up closing my business. And with that, after closing my business, I went ahead and took a 9 to 5 job, doing delivery. I'm now rebuilding my business and also my music. The mistake I made that cost me everything. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you're building a small business. Revenue is not profit. I know that sounds obvious, but when you're running two gyms and money is coming every month, from all your clients, you start feel like you can do anything. You're doing well, and I did it. I felt like I was doing well, and every month that comes in, I was just like, wow, this is a lot of money, right? But I was reinvesting everything back that comes to my business. That means every dollar that I made went back to it. New equipment. My clients would be like, "Hey, Danny, can we put a new rack in here? Can we have more plates in here?" And then from staff, I start hiring more people, which was, if I look at it right now, I shouldn't hire more than at one point I have so many trainers. I got a bigger place. I got a second location, and I'm paying at the end of the day. I'm paying more rent, and then I'm start paying for marketing also. After I got my marketing coach, it's like, hey, go ahead and market some more and get some more people in here. But what I didn't build was a cushion. That's one thing. I didn't build a reserve. I didn't have a number in my head that said, hey, if something happens to this business, if mind you, let's say one of your business close or like both doors close, what are you going to do? Can you restart back? I did not have that in my mind. Then 2020 hits, and suddenly we're in the lockdown. I tried to salvage the business. I closed after like my lease was up. So I still have to pay rent even though I don't have clients. As soon as my lease is done, I finish it off. And a lot of my clients, of course, unfortunately, I lost a lot of them. I tried to bring them back through an online type training, but it's not the same as building a community where people see each other, high fives, and everything like that. So with the California lockdown, I pretty much had to cancel all my memberships that I had, and that point right there really, I gotta say, it really, I don't want to say the word destroy, but it really hurt a lot because a lot of these people are, when you see them like 3 times a day, some of them even every day at the gym, they become your friends, right? You become connected to them. Not seeing them after that really affected me and a lot of people, of course. So when the door closed, I had nothing to absorb the cost, and pretty much I lost everything. Now that's my main lesson. If you start a business, you actually start making money, start putting money aside as a cushion, just in case something happened, which is so obvious, but I missed it. So if I'm starting over again, these are the 3 things I'm actually gonna put on place before I even start moving forward. First of all, I have a number in my head. So that means once I start making money, I'm going to start putting it aside, some of it, so it cushion me 3, 6, or even 12, just in case things happen, just in case I have a few cancellation, because things will happen, right? You might lose a big account, and suddenly that account, you have to look for that big account, and now you at least something to replace it. Second, I will not get any more overhead. That means I'm not going to get a location anymore. I just got one staff, from the Philippines, a VA. We set up a payment, and then they do the legwork while I build up my corporate clients. And 3, I separated my bank accounts. This time, I'm gonna have one account pretty much for income, one account that goes through all my costs, and everything else that's gonna go ahead where my cushion is. So I'm gonna separate all those 3. You see, none of those are complicated, but nobody sat down with me and show me how it's done. So I have to learn it the hard way, but with everything else, accountability happens, right? You've got to be accountable on your own action. It cost me a lot, to lose everything, but the good aspect of it is I learned something, right? And that's what life is, right? You fail, you pick yourself back up again. That's what I'm doing. So I took a 9 to 5 job just because I had to. Okay, it's not like that I want it. But there's not, like I said, there's nothing wrong with picking a 9 to 5 job. I used to have that when I was a little bit younger. You know, I enjoyed my job, but when you become a business owner, when you start kind of working for yourself, it's hard to adjust. You know, it's just hard to come back to working 9 to 5. But I also know that if I had built that cushion that I needed when things went rough, I would be like running my business again sooner than later, right? I would have just like adjusted for a few months and then go ahead and restarted my business right away. So here's where I am today. I'm still working 9 to 5. You know, right now I just enjoy the process. I do it, and then I'm rebuilding my wellness business again, which is giving me some more excitement. I believe like about 4 or 5 months ago, I just started realizing, you know what? After 2 years, it's time to come back. I had enough time to cope. I have enough time to think about what I did, and I'm thinking to myself, I cannot see myself at this job, so I need to do something. What I used to do, I thought about running a different type of business, maybe media marketing and stuff like that. But then I realized, you know what? I've been in the gym business, the wellness business, you know, for pretty much entire life. And I started working out when I was 19, 20 years old. So it's been part of my life for like going on 30 years now, and it's something I enjoy watching people transform. So I'm going to go ahead. I picked my wellness back up again. Got my LinkedIn running again. Starting to like do a little promotion here and there. And this time I'm not getting any location anymore. I'm gonna keep all the overhead, and that's what kills a lot of business. They have too much overhead right away. I'm pretty much gonna bootstrap this business like what I did when I first time I did it. More wisdom of not what to do. Right? It's not what the thing that kills a business the most is doing things that you're not supposed to do. Right? Like what I did. No cushion. Got too much overhead right away instead of just like building through it, just saying yes to a lot of my clients when they need a new equipment, when I could have just put that money aside and we could have just keep the same equipment and do some training with that. Now I have my number also, what I want to hit for when it comes to my business. I get my bank account right now all set up. They're all going to be separated automatically, so I don't have to like keep doing it myself. It just automatically transfer whenever I get a new client, when they start providing my services and getting my accounts back up. No, I'm not a financial advisor. Way far from it, right? But what I'm telling you, it's more the psychological aspect of like restarting your business, restarting your career, right? Just getting your ducks in a row. And like for me, it's more like what I learned from the past, that the mistakes I made, I'm not going to do it anymore. And one of the biggest thing actually that I've been doing for the last few months, and I really believe this helps a lot. And this is just for me personally. Of course, you could do your own thing. You know, I work out early in the morning. I've been doing that, you know, since 15 years ago, right? It's just become part of my habit, right? Wake up at 4, and then hit the gym at 5, and then get done. I want to get everything done first thing in the morning, so I don't have to deal with it at night. When I feel like, you know, because I tend to get lazy at night. I just don't want to do anything. So might as well get everything done in the morning. I listen to Jim Rohn every day now. For some reason, just his voice, just the way it kind of like, uh, just the way he talks. I put that on the headphone, do my cardio for 20 minutes, and then before I lift, and then I listen to him. And you gotta try some of his stuff. It's so positive. You know, it makes you believe on yourself again. That, you know, like what I learned a lot from him is no one's gonna save us but ourselves, right? So the moment you realize that you're on your own, even if you have your family, even if you're someone to help you there, at the end of the day, when you think that no one is coming for you, you have to pick yourself back up. And like for years, after going through depression, after going through like a lot of things with my business, you know, I realized it's time to pick myself back up again, because no one's gonna help me. No one. You can only help yourself, and that's the biggest thing. For the last few months, I've been listening to him daily. It kind of pops me up. Okay, it's time to make some changes. So if you're Gen X, you're trying to rebuild something, I want to hear from you. Like I said, I built this Gen X rock comeback. as a community, right? I discuss about the first two videos. I talk about like my my beginnings of restarting. Second is about the music, picking the guitar back up. And this time I'm going to talk about the business aspect of it, like how I lost everything and kind of regaining it back. So if you're going through the same process and you're about to, or you kind of like went past already and you rebuilt yourself, still working on it, I want to hear from you, okay? Post your comment below. I'll read it. I'll comment back. I love you guys. Please like, subscribe. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. More likely, I want to talk about the guitar pedals, like I promised on the second video, because I'm gonna dig through it, because I found a couple the other day, but I'm gonna show you guys the two pedals that I really enjoyed playing when I was way back. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Take care. Two peace. Bye bye.